Hi trader, my focus today is on the Eurodollar and pound dollar bearish momentum. This is the weekly Forex recap brought to you by Admiral Markets. So these four currency pairs are in our focus. This video is brought to you to a global audience, so be aware that it may not be suitable for everyone. Take a look at admiralmarketsglobal.com, select your country of residence, and contact an appropriate entity for more details. Also, please be aware that trading foreign exchange and global financial markets is considered high risk and may not be suitable for everyone. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. Plus, by continuing watching this video, you agree with this disclaimer and you are aware of the risk involved when trading. Alright, this is the pound dollar daily chart, and this is interesting because price made a three-wave correction so far. We can see clearly here the first wave, the second wave, and then the third wave. And that third wave has brought price back to the previous resistance and also the long-term moving average, as you see coming in like this. So we had a bearish momentum prior to that, of course, very good strong trend to the downside. And now price is making a bit of a hook back. If we zoom in, you can see a bounce at that resistance zone with a good engulfing twin. So momentum to the downside. And this could easily be a hook back to a deep fib, such as a 78.6 Fibonacci retracement level. We saw a wick like this 2 days ago, 2 trading days ago. And last Friday, we saw a strong bearish candle as well, with the close near the low indicating strong bearish impulse. Okay, so I think that this is a good chance that this is a hook back for more downside, at least at the very minimum, I would say, to retest this support trend line or even the target right in here. So this is basically the bearish space, I would say, that's potentially out there. And of course, even further with the blue circles indicating potential bouncing spots and maybe even turning spots. So that's something you have to be aware of. Because if ultimately this is a grand start of a downtrend, or if this is a simple correction like this, that's something that is just not able to see at this moment, at this point. So that we'll have to see how price responds to the technicals, but probably also the fundamentals. We got, of course, the referendum in Great Britain regarding the EU membership a month from now. So that's something that all plays in. We'll have to see how price responds to those factors. All right, so from that point of view, though, for the short-term perspective, I do see bearish pressure. I think that's the most interesting to talk about for the moment. And if you see price basically challenging this 4-hour support line, once that support line breaks, I think there's a good chance to get a continuation of that bearish momentum down to 143, 142.50. So on our hourly chart, we can see a tad better here, the support trend line, and it's about to be broken. So if I see a good 4-hour engulfing twin here, for instance, right, this 4-hour candle closing as engulfing twins, looking for a short, for instance, upon the retracement of the 4-hour candle, I think is something that I'll keep an eye on for myself as a potential downside trade. The alternative, if this is a false break and we see a bit of a retracement like this, then I would be looking for this zone right up in here, where I have the purple lines, somewhere around this resistance, around 145.50, 145.75 there. You got tops here and bottoms that are broken, and that could provide resistance. So that would be the area I would be looking for a continuation of this pound USD weakness. And last but not least, the weekly chart I wanted to show you, just because to give you an idea about the importance of this zone. You got bottoms in here, you got tops in here, you got the strong downtrend, of course, in play. So this zone is interesting because if this zone holds, that could be easily, of course, the restart of this downtrend, and this pink line will break. But if it doesn't, then there could be actually a pretty good retracement potential there up to that long-term moving average around 152.50, 150. All right. So that would be a breakout, counter break to the opposite side. So we got this trend line basically playing in. It's a long-term resistance trend line. If that holds, we got this. If it doesn't, we might get the bigger retracement to the upside. So that's something that's very interesting on the pound. All right, we'll continue with the other pairs in just a second. Wanted to make you aware of the fact that Admiral Market still has last week left regarding the up to 50% deposit bonus opportunity. So take a look at that at your leisure. Also, we have webinars, of course, again lined up. Nenet's usual weekly FX recap. And on Wednesday, he takes a look at the dynamic channel system. I myself will take a look at pattern trading on Tuesday and fib trading on Wednesday. And together, we take a look at reviewing trading indicators on Thursday. All right, let's take a look at the Eurodollar. And we see basically, of course, a strong resistance zone indicated by the red bar here, basically. and price was not able to break through that, as we of course know. 2 weeks ago, big rejection wick and candle, and we've had 2 bearish weeks in a row since then. So we got a bit of a trend here, a bit of a trend channel, as you will see on the daily chart. But we also have an important weekly line here, still not broken, so that will provide perhaps support. So if we look at the daily now, you see that channel a bit better, and the support levels. This is, in my opinion, a potential bounce zone. We have 111.50, 111. Got a couple of trend lines there that could provide, and a long-term moving average on the daily that could provide a bit of a bounce. But honestly, if I look at this channel, I think it's a pretty good channel, and I think that this channel could easily continue in its current shape and just push through those support levels. So although I do think these support levels are things to reckon with, and they could provide, price to stop, I think that this channel could be strong and it could push through those as we progress. So if I look at this current position here on the 4-hour chart at this moment, we're making kind of a bear flag at this point, and the break of that bear flag could indicate the continuation of this channel. So if I zoom into the hourly, you can see that the break of the current trend line is about to happen, and you can see that this channel is about to be broken. So if price were to have an hourly candle below this channel at the top of the hour, or if the 4-hour candle is anything like it is now, for instance, bearish and a strong close near the low, then I think that's a good break of the channel, the bear flag within the channel, I should say, and I think there's a good chance of continuation. Well, down to 111, 111.50 at the minimum, and then we'll have to see how price responds. It could even go further if we get another bear flag, right? It could continue after that one more time. Then the dollar yen, well, we have a bounce basically at the 38.2 fib, as you can see, and the price is responding to that. But the thing is that price is now at resistance, so it's kind of squeezed in between the 38.2 fib, a monthly fib, strong support level, price bouncing at that, but also weekly resistance. So there's their battle between those two elements, and we'll have to see which is the winner. And if I look at the daily chart, it's basically all about how price will respond as this basically retracing back. If it's going to bounce in this support zone right in here, then I think it's a good chance of at least retesting that level. All right. If it doesn't, then there could be a breakout to the downside, and this was probably just a correction. So a lot is riding on that, the reaction of price to this fib on the 4-hour chart. If price bounces at the 38.2 fib or the 50, I think we got a good chance of actually an uptrend to continue up to this 111.70. And if it doesn't, then we might see a break, pullback, and continue. So it's going to be interesting how price responds to 109 and 108.50. I'm expecting more of a bounce just because of the fact that this upside has lasted, pushed quite far, more than I wouldn't say more than expected, but it confirmed kind of the bullish momentum, I should say. And it seems like it's a 1, 2, 3, and this is a 4. So I'm expecting that there's a better probability of a bounce at the 38.2 fib up to the -272 target, which of course could be a bearish spot for a bit of an ABC zigzag. And I'm expecting that this is an A or a 1, and I'm expecting this to be a B. Sorry, I'll make that red, B or 2, and I'm expecting again then after that for another bullish bounce like this. All right, so that's pretty long term though, but for the moment, the dollar yen in an interesting spot for continuation to the upside. But if it doesn't and it fails here, and there's no price action confirmation signal for myself to take a trade, well, then this resistance zone could be in play, and it could just be downside. Aussie is a bit of an interesting position because we have a doji at the 61.8. We got a bit of support here as well. So reason for a bounce, I would say. But the 4-hour chart is not bouncing. It looks like a bear flag. It looks very corrective. So I'm cautious. There is divergence, perhaps even double divergence, right? Definitely single between these bottoms. Another reason to be cautious and expect a bullish bounce. So far, it's not happening. And there is a potential, of course, to get up to the resistance and long-term moving average, but price is not showing that right now. So I'm not really interested in trading it. I mean, there is, I guess, the potential for price to get down to the 78.6 fib, make a double divergence probably, and then make an ABC zigzag up to resistance. If it fails to break this bottom, then perhaps we'll get that bigger retracement now instead of a while, in the future. So I'm cautious. I mean, I'm going to keep an eye on this bottom and see how price responds to that. If I see hesitation of a break, I might attempt a reversal trade to the upside, but I'm not jumping for joy, as you can see, to trade it either way. If it breaks the bottom, perhaps some intra-week shorting down to 70, 40. But there is that divergence, so it doesn't look that interesting. But I'll keep an eye on it and see how it develops. You can, of course, check out Tuesday, Wednesday, and see how my thoughts have perhaps changed during those live webinars. All right, traders, hope that you enjoyed that. Wish you great trading, and hope to see you in the webinars as well. Cheers.